So it's
Where?
right next door to the right. It's one over there. It's one further down on the house on the corner on the right. It's one behind us. I mean, there is just a lot of them everywhere on, like I said, each street. It's a lot of them.
This resident, whose face we agreed not to show out of concern for her safety, says her Fairfield neighborhood just off Talleyrand is full of sex offenders.
And I guess this is just probably the only place that's open.
She's well aware of where each one lives because she operates a daycare out of her home. Just a few blocks away is John Love Elementary. Take a look at this map. Within a 1-mile radius of the school, there are more than 100 registered sex offenders and 8 predators. It's a school that has no busing, so many of the kids walk.
He lived it out.
When I look at this map about all these child predators around my neighborhood, it's not safe for me and my brothers or my sisters.
What's your reaction?
It's like really scary because I never would have knew that if you wouldn't have never said that.
That's too many. Now I gotta keep my son in the house more.
So you just have to pray and keep them close to you. They don't understand. They want to go out and play in the neighborhood and everything.
Marvine Poole, who is raising 5 grandchildren, is like many we talked to. She had no idea so many sex offenders and predators were so close by. While the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is required to notify residents of sexual predators living in their neighborhood, the law only requires residents to be notified within 48 hours of a predator moving into the area. If you move in after a predator, it's up to you to check online to see where they live. And while sex offender registries can be great tools, don't let them give you a false sense of security. Only those convicted since 1993 are required to register.
And that's something people need to be aware of, that you may be living next to someone that, were arrested and convicted prior to that law being enacted.
In Florida, not all sex offenders are classified as predators. It depends on the conviction. Predators cannot live within 1,000 feet of a school, daycare center, park, or playground. Here in Duval County, it's even stricter. Predators can't live within 2,500 feet of areas like this school. But some sex offenders, depending on their conviction, don't have any restrictions.
I am not under the 1,000-foot rule. I can live wherever I want to live.
This sex offender, who agreed to talk to us if we didn't identify him, was convicted of attempted sexual battery on a child in 1993. He's now in his 60s and says he ended up in this neighborhood through a re-entry program when he was released from prison. It's a house he said used to be solely for sex offenders until a daycare opened nearby.
With us being here, they shouldn't have accepted that application, but they did, and then they approved it, which stopped us from being able to house any more sex offenders. Who is here is grandfathered in. They can't make us leave. But if I leave, or one of us was to leave, we cannot come back to the same house.
Still, having so many sex offenders and predators concentrated in one area makes this mom and daycare operator nervous.
I just do everything I can to make sure my kids are safe. I don't let them come out in the front street and play. They're only allowed to be in the backyard, but I don't let them just freely walk up and down the street because I don't feel safe. Even when I get out to take the kids to the van or to the car, I have to make sure that they're like right behind me and, where there's no way no one can snatch them and run, because I'm just over extra protective about that situation and everything that's going on over here.
Can you understand the mindset of parents and grandparents?
I can understand the mindset, but it's like I said, each conviction is different. It depends on the type of conviction it is. When you're labeled a sex offender, they think you're a child rapist or a predator, when you might not be.
6 of the 8 predators living in this area are listed as transients on the Florida Department of Law Enforcement's registry. Of those, all but 1 are on Talleyrand Avenue.
If the transients have somewhere they're laying their head at night, every single day as their address changes, they have to notify the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office where that change is occurring. That's why the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, the offender watch, is updated in the moment as they register, as they offend. And we do random checks to verify that that is where they're staying, that's where they're laying their head at night.
But some who are required to register have not. At last check, JSO had 45 active warrants for everything from failure to comply with requirements to failure to report address change. And sex offenders and predators are not just confined to this one neighborhood. They live in all sections of town and are from all different backgrounds.
That you see them walking down the street every day and it just looks like a normal person, but at the end of the day, they're still a sex offender.